I've come your way again. This is your boy Wilson Gordon Ghana. If today is your first time on this channel, just look the right side and press the subscribe button and hit the bell. Any video which I will put out there for you to have a notification to watch the old video and the current video which I will put there. Today, I have a message for my fellow Africans. How are we going to change the image of Africa? How are we going to change the storyline of Africa? The lies that they lie about Africa, how are we going to change that lies? It depends on me and you. Now, social media is there. We must to sit on our social media pages or Facebook, YouTube, so that we can share the good news, portray Africa for our people, our brothers and sisters which they are living in the diasporas to know what we have in the country. I'm going to change the story for my people. I have started my duty. It's left with you for you to start your duty now. We have a lot of resources in Africa. We have the beautiful site in Africa. We have the beautiful beach site in Africa. We have a beautiful forest in Africa. We have the large gold. We have the timbers. We have diamonds in Africa. Not talking about the good food, which is organic food in Africa. Now, our colonial masters came to Africa, see all these resources, and they start picking them. It doesn't end there. When they were going with our resources, they decided to take us along, and we became slaves. Now, my fellow brothers, my fellow sisters are there. They have painted the image of the land which they came and picked you people. That is a jungle which you are coming from. It's a jungle which you people, they came and picked you. But I'm telling you that is never true. Come home, come and invest in Africa. Bring what you have. Bring the little money which you have gained at the diasporas. Bring it back home, your mother's land, to come and invest. And the advice which I will have for my leaders in Africa, the sweat we the youth or we the Africans which we are working for them, our taxpayers' money which we are working for them to use to develop the country, they will steal that money and save it in abroad. We should tell them they should put a stop to it. If you steal the money, invest it in Africa. Don't even think about stealing in your country as a leader. Invest that money so that our country, the image or the storyline will change. I have a little advice or a video from a brother which he wants to share with you. So, brother, tell the people out there in Africa, your brothers and sisters out there are waiting to listen to your voice. And after, I will come to your way and end this video. So, stay tuned.
I think that is the work of the academics. That is the work that we need to do as young scholars. For far too long, people have been portraying Africa negatively to the outside world. And we know that that was done by individuals whose sole aim was to dominate Africa, to exploit Africa's resources, and then to continue to colonize us politically. Now, our role as academics, as young scholars, is how do we make sure that this picture is changed from the literature itself, going back to rewrite the books, to rewrite the history of Africa, and then to show to the world that we have a better image that the world is actually seeing as of today. And then you also come to realize that we need to invest in Africa, because foreign investment always leads to capital flights and etc. Because people who come in and invest, at the end they can take all the resources, and then you come to realize that it becomes another challenge for us. But when Africans invest, the money stays in Africa, which is a plus. It can enhance, it can help when it comes to employment, when it comes to, you know, coming up with all the facilities and then enhancing the development that we own, that we all desire as Africans and etc. I think that is what we need to do as we speak, and that is what we all Africans need to be thinking into that particular line, like trying to see how we can repent that particular picture shown by the outsiders about Africa, because they, in fact, let me tell you, there was this quotation that I read. It was actually done by a British parliamentarian, Lord Macaulay, in 1835. He speaks about Africa, and then he said, in order for the West to dominate Africa, they need to overthrow our very backbone, and that is our education system. When we believe that everything that is Western is correct, then they can dominate us forever.
Exactly.
And that is 1835. They've been working on those bases. So today it is high time, because we know the realities. Let us try to rewrite the history. Let us try to work again and attract investment in Africa by Africans.
I hope you listen to the little advice which our brother gave you people out there. It's time for us to come home. It's time for us to come back home. I come from the gateway of Africa. Be free. You can sleep. You can eat. You can drink. And you can rest and feel like home. Don't be in the diasporans to be still slave. If you are working, you don't have time to rest. You don't have time to eat. You don't have time to take care of your children. That is why in Africa we have disciplined children, because you can have time for your children. Thank you. I will end here with my video. The name is Wilson Gordon Ghana, your youth advisor. Subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you. Bye-bye.